Well, holy crap, guys. Asmongold really did it. He got a response from Ted Cruz on loot boxes in video games. Thank you very much to all the YouTube members and the patrons. Let's go take a look.
The Twitch streamer Asmongold said he reached out to Senator Cruz's office about regulating loot boxes in video games. Where does the senator stand on loot boxes? I know that those are all words, and I understand they have been strung together in an English sentence, but I don't really understand what it means semantically together. Look, I'm...
Oh, it's so funny. It's funny because it's exactly part of like the issue that's kind of been talked about by people like Asmongold, right? And how one of the issues is a lot of times these guys they don't really know the issue, right? Like they don't know what's going on. They don't even, right? They literally don't even understand the terminology that's being discussed to have a solid opinion and know what to do. Like a lot of times they're behind, right? They're not up. They're not up to speed with, what's going on.
I'm happy to engage in a conversation with him. I'm happy to see what he has to say on it.
That would be so hype, dude. If he goes on Asmon's stream and they actually talk about it, that would be just, oh my God, that'd be awesome.
As I understand it, the concern he's raising is a concern about gambling and kids.
Yes.
And I will say it is certainly true that social media, online environments, including video games, are designed to be addictive. Now, I'm something of a gamer. I'm not a gamer like hardcore
right.
Twitch streamers, and I don't do the massive multiplayer games.
Not yet, Senator, but I'll tell you.
Hey, look at he actually knows some terms though, right? Massively multiplayer. That's an actual term. Like to know it's massively multiplayer, right? Right? That's an actual gamer term. He knew something.
I bet you never thought that you were going to be a top podcaster. So who knows? We may have to launch the Verdict Twitch stream and start playing Pac-Man or whatever the kids are playing these days.
This guy's jokes are really annoying with like the games, like just pretending like I have no idea of any game other than Pac-Man. Bro, he's older than you.
That could well be. And you remember when you and I did Dave Rubin's podcast, we did a Twitch stream on playing, I think it was Nintendo that he had, and we did that. And if I remember right, I beat his ass. I'm pretty sure that's right. And if not, that's the story I'm going with.
Mm-hmm.
But look, they're different components of it. In games, I'll tell you, I don't like it when you can buy in-game items and sort of make your character stronger or get advantages.
Now, what? He doesn't like pay to win? Shit. Honestly, like it sounds like he actually really might be, a semi-casual gamer and know a little bit. This guy's, acting like I don't know anything at all, even though I'm, dude's fucking, younger than I am. He actually knows some terms. It's kind of cool.
I'll confess, when I play some games, I'll sometimes buy it because it is more fun if suddenly your character has a lot more great stuff that would take.
Bro, Ted Cruz is whale stomping you in game. It's so funny to think about that he would be like one of the guys who paid to win and crushed you in a game.
You 6 months or a year to build up. So sometimes I'll spend $20 and buy a treasure chest full of coins because then I can spend them to get cool things in the game. I think it is a greater concern.
I hope he doesn't think that's what we mean by the loot boxes, right? The just buying currency in the game is not what's being talked about with loot boxes.
When you're dealing with kids, when you're dealing with minors who have a potential, number one, to spend a whole lot of money. And with
right, because they have no concept of money and earning money and any of that other stuff. All they know is like I want the thing.
Of the loot boxes, there's a fair amount of randomness that you could get a lot of great stuff or some lousy stuff. And so I guess that's the argument that it's gambling. I'll confess I haven't. I'm open to hearing arguments on this, but I approach the issue with a pretty strong libertarian bent. So I'd like to not see kids exploited and harmed.
Right.
And so I'd be interested in his views but at the same time, I'm not sure.
Yeah, right. Like on like what the views and actual solutions are from the perspective of a gamer who's pretty smart, been doing gaming a long time, right? Like Asmon or not like him. I think he's a fairly smart dude. And you know, he might have some takes other than, I know his solution isn't probably just like make everything illegal, right? I know he's talked about there needs to be, you know, things in place, right, to help prevent the kids from getting so much access to it. And also, you know, maybe a little bit more transparency on what's really going on, how much something actually costs.
Sure that the federal government really has a dog in the fight, that if people want to, in a video game, spend money on stuff in the game.
That's also true.
I think my instincts are probably that may not be a great choice if you're spending massive amounts of money in games.
True.
But I'm not sure the federal government has a role preventing you from doing that.
Honestly, I like the answer. I don't like any politicians, but I like that answer, right? At heart, I am a much more libertarian. And I think we get emotional and we get angry and we kind of initially like lash out and we want stuff to be done. But I think you also have to think of potential negative repercussions to things that could happen, right? If you decide to get them involved, because there's a really good chance they don't stop at regulating just that one little thing you wanted them to regulate, right? There's a really good chance that the slippery slope begins and the next thing that happens is, you know, they start coming after, right? Because they've already talked about it so many times, right? They want less violence in the video games and stuff. And if you invite them in to solve one problem, there's a good chance maybe they start dipping their toes, you know, in the pond over here of this and this one and messing with all of those. And maybe you don't really want to open that Pandora's box, so to speak.
Well, we'll have to look into loot boxes more. Maybe I'll brush up on my Donkey Kong or, you know, whatever's really hip right now.
Yeah, here he goes trying to like, I don't know what he thinks he's doing. Like, I'm too cool. I'm too cool to know what a single game is, bro.
And I hope that we can figure out. Maybe we'll have to.
I'm quite
back
confident
and forth.
it's not Donkey Kong.
Yes.
Is it not? Okay.
Thank you. Right. Shout out to Ted Cruz.
Hey, I'm a little behind the curve, but there were no loot boxes in Donkey Kong too. So maybe we'll hear from Asmongold.
And you know, I will note. So I actually just watched again Ready Player One. Did you ever see this movie?
No, I heard it was great, but I didn't catch it.
I've seen it a couple times.
I've seen it several times, but I just happened to have rewatched it last week, and it's a really good movie about virtual reality and people going into the game and a whole alternative world in the game, but people amass money in virtual reality, and it ends up for many people subsuming the world.
Bad.
And look, there are hard challenges. We're not yet to the dystopic world of Ready Player One, but we might be. We're on a path towards that. And
we absolutely are, right? Because like once the virtual reality stuff really pops off, man, right, the meta and all the metaverses, bro, the metaverse.
You know, escapism. There are times when escapism can be valuable, but it also is going to raise all sorts of challenges and challenges that can spill over from the virtual world to the real world, and how those intersections happen. We're going to have to learn more about them.
Yeah.
And specifically on this issue,
I actually like Ted's answers in this, to be honest. I kind of like him in this little podcast interview clip here. Shit.
Of the loot boxes and gaming. A lot of the question involves the role of parents, and parental rights is a big topic these days. And I believe parental rights is the topic of your conversation on The Cloakroom with Liz Wheeler. Is that right, Liz?
Oh, here we go. What a nice segue. Hey, clap, clap. He did something nice. That was actually a good segue there. All of your gaming jokes were annoying. That was a good segue. Shout out.